Okay, we are live. Hi, everyone. This is Erinn Morgan. I am the editor-in-chief of Eye Care Business Magazine, and I am excited to be here today with our amazing guests, friends of mine now, and I've known Ed for quite some time, and we've interviewed Eric here in the magazine recently, and really love what they're doing here over at Topology Eyewear. So we are going to be here today to talk about this incredibly cool new virtual try-on platform that Eric has overseen, kind of founded. He is the founder and CEO of Topology. And Ed Beiner, who many of you probably already know, is the founder and CEO of the very successful Edward Beiner Optical Stores based in Florida. And we are going to talk today during this kind of quick and fun and really focused live stream. We're going to talk about the details on Topology's really innovative virtual try-on touchless optical platform. It utilizes 3D digital optical measurements that are really super specific and with a facial mapping. And Eric's going to explain more about that to us. And we'll kind of get to see it in action, as well as I am going to get styled by Eric and Ed, which is my great privilege. And we have scanned my face, so you'll get to see my live virtual eyewear fitting, which I'm super excited because I haven't seen the eyewear yet that you have potentially chosen for me. So this will be using the Topology platform. So we'll kick off. I just wanted to kind of, after introducing Eric and Ed here, I want to ask you, Eric, first, if you could tell us maybe just a little bit about yourself, your background, how you came to found Topology, such a unique, cool thing for the industry.
Yeah, sure. Hi, pleasure to be here. So I'm Eric Varady. And let's see, I stumbled into this industry by happenstance. My background is I earned my mechanical engineering degree from MIT. I was actually in a totally different field in the implantable medical industry. Ultimately ended up moving to San Francisco. And then, I was, like many people, shopping for glasses and ran into some serious problems finding the right product for me. I just felt that I got immersed in technology in my prior career, and I knew that technology could be brought to this industry, I think, to not just for technology's sake, but to deliver really incredible value in terms of enhancing the experience in store as well as remotely, and helping not just patients win, but I think practitioners win. And so went off on an amazing journey to develop a lot of really cool tech to improve the experience as well as outcomes, and ultimately even the physical product that people love and wear on their face day in, day out. So that's sort of my background, my journey to get to this point.
What a cool story. I love that. And I love your eyewear, Eric, that I'm looking at here. So I imagine they were fit through your facial scanning.
Sure.
No doubt. So, and Ed, many of us know you, but can you just tell us a little bit about your background and then, how you became involved with Topology?
So, hi, Erinn, and hi, everyone. So I started in the industry a lifetime ago, actually in Toronto, Canada, which how I end up back in Toronto with Canadians, but circle in life. But I come from a family of jewelers. And when I first saw and started understanding the optical industry, but this back in the 80s, in the early 80s, I realized there was a huge opportunity in being able to cater to people that wanted to see eyeglasses as an accessory. And my next 40 years in this industry has been about not necessarily the need of eyewear, but the want of eyewear. And I opened my first store in South Florida in 1980. As the years went by, I have been involved in designing eyewear. I've had my own collections. I have wholesaled this in this industry for approximately a good 13 years. Build the stores to approximately 12 stores, all of them in Florida. and sold the company actually, and to New Look Group of Canada, whom today I'm president of the Edward Beiner Group here in Florida. And it's been a honor being able to really be in this industry, because besides of what it has given me, it has taught me an awful lot. And I met a bunch of incredible people, including, by the way, Erinn, and of course, Eric, at this point that we are collaborating in some of the projects together. And I say all the smart people in San Francisco, the ones that want to have fun are in Florida. So in Miami in particular. So we'll leave it at that.
And I grew up in South Florida, so it's really cool to be working with Ed in that regard as well. Yeah.
That's great. Well, thank you both for sharing that with our audience. And folks, for your watching here today, we really appreciate you joining us. Two quick things. If you do have questions, now the system is really cool. If you have technical questions, if you have just kind of user questions about the system as we go through it, Eric's going to share his screen here and kind of show, the system, as well as show my facial scan and the fitting. So if you have questions, please just type those into the comment bars on YouTube or on Facebook, wherever you're watching today, and we can get to those questions at the end or as we go along if they're relevant, right then to what we're talking about. So we can do that live. So please just type in your questions in the comment bar, hit send, and I'll be able to see them back here. As well, we also love to know who's watching, who's here. I see there are many of you here today. So if you could just type in your name or your practice name or your optical shop's name and your location, feel free to tell us where you're from. We'd love to know who's here watching today. So thanks again for joining us. Well, I'll head into kind of my first question for you, Eric, and I know you kind of explained a little bit about how Topology was founded, that, it was a real need in the industry. From your experience with your own eyewear purchasing experience, was that the first, one of the first times you had kind of gone to get eyewear and you just really found that was a need in the optical industry today to kind of have a more precise fit?
Yeah, so I've been wearing glasses since I was a kid, but sometimes it's just being in the right place at the right time in your life, where I had got this amazing experience working for a number of companies, learning a tremendous amount about advanced manufacturing and digital tools and design. And I found myself shopping for glasses, and I got frustrated with the product as well as the experience, right? Trying to find that one in a million, going from store to store with limited inventory. I was shopping for actually pretty high-end frames in the marina. I have a really big nose. I have ears that are set pretty far back. Nothing seemed to fit. I can't see myself because I can't really wear contact lenses due to issues with dry eye. And I just thought there'd be a better way. And I knew even before the technology was really ready that it could be done. And so the idea was, could you use advanced facial scanning, computers, algorithms, even advanced manufacturing to help customers find that perfect pair? Make it a substantially more seamless, frictionless, convenient experience, because no one has enough time to go from store to store to find that pair or make multiple trips to the store. So I was really focused on how do you improve the product, the shopping experience, the outcomes. The standard of care is still a Sharpie. And people are used to advanced AI and your phone unlocking via your face. And then when an optician reaches for a Sharpie, that's not exactly confidence inspiring. So how do you improve that aspect to ensure that the measurements are better than anything before, so that at the end of the day, people are happier with their end product, the frames? It could hopefully be delivered to their house. So you win on convenience, and the optical performance are better than anything that's been out there. So that's how I started my journey. And it started initially with trying to improve the physical product, creating bespoke or completely custom eyewear. And then after we developed some of this amazing tech, it broadened into a platform that I think can transform not just bespoke, but all stock and branded products, how you do it in store, how you ultimately bring retailers into the online realm and start actually winning on convenience.
Absolutely. What a great focus, and obviously a great time for virtual try-on tools, not just because of technology, but because of the pandemic. And that certainly has been, I'm sure very appealing to a lot of folks out there, eye care professionals across the country. So how does the technology actually work? Like, how does it utilize 3D digital optical measurements? How do you provide a full facial scan?
So we'll show off, I think, some fun whiz-bang demos in a minute. And so what you'll see on the screen is a virtual try-on. We are a virtual try-on. We're a lot more than that. We are an optical dispensing tool that's more accurate than anything that's been dispensed in store. We are based on just a pure 3D scan of the face. We're able to help with the commerce of eyewear now and in the future. You scan yourself once, and then as we add new product to the inventory, new collections, the ability to use that one scan to help with all future purchases in terms of making them more convenient, frictionless, is I think really profound. So we start with a scan. So how do we do that? We use the Face ID sensor that's now common on all iPhones that have been sold the past 3 years and now iPad Pros. So I just did the math the other day. There's now 104 million Face ID equipped iPhones in the US today.
Wow.
And then you can add on iPad. So it's becoming huge. It's probably about 120 million by the end of this year. So there's a lot of people out there who have this. And we're deploying it in store. So even for customers who don't have this in their pocket, the next time they visit their retailer, they get scanned once. That's associated with the retailer, and they can be used now and in the future. So we take a 3D face scan. We extract all the measurements. And then we solve for what are the optical measurements for all of the products in our inventory. And we're providing a virtual preview that is, I think, certainly more photorealistic, one-to-one scale, so you can trust what you see is what you get, accurate. And I think the last thing we do that no one's done before is we're then solving for how does an optician physically adjust the frame so that they can deliver and dispense to a customer who may not be physically present, so that you can actually ship to a customer's home and deliver perfect fit out of the box. Not just the frame, you don't have to then go to a physical retailer to get it adjusted, but the measurements are so accurate that we can deliver state-of-the-art progressive lenses with in-store results fully remotely. So that's why this is really, I think, exciting and very transformative. And then on top of that, we've innovated, I think, on the eyewear product. We can do all stock and branded products, which we'll show. We've also developed a fully customer bespoke line. That means that any face can get any style in any color with perfect fit, down to us sculpting the shape of your nose into the frame so they feel comfortable and almost weightless. So we're really focused on innovating at the high end around that product, but also I think fundamentally transforming the interaction, the experience, the dispensing, the measurements of all products within this industry using the platform.
Amazing. So really a very precise, customized fit is possible now more than ever, which is fantastic. So obviously this is, a profitability. I mean, there's profitability built into this for eye care professionals because they can, share that they have this capability now, and they can share with their patients and their customers that they have a capability to be more precise, to provide more customization, to provide kind of more comfort, and in the frames that are chosen for them. So, and especially in today's world, where our eye care professionals have been very hard hit by the pandemic, in terms of their bottom lines, why would you say, just in your own words, Eric, why can this platform be so transformative for eye care professionals as they embrace 21st century optometry and opticianry?
Yeah, so I think there's a number of different ways why this, at the end of the day, can be so profound. I think the first is customers demand now more than ever convenience. Right? That used to be a luxury. Now that's almost table stakes. And I think the industry has fallen far behind in terms of being able to meet customers where they are. And so by involving, I think, this digital tool, which it works in store, but also for the first time enables remote interactions, either through virtual one-on-one consultations with an optician that comes into your home, but also I think critically through self-serve e-commerce, you're enabling a larger geographical catchment area for a retailer, expanding the store hours of operation to when customers actually want to engage and actually win on convenience. So that's primarily, I think, how innovating on the experience can deliver a win to the customer and a win to the practice. I think furthermore, and then we'll talk about this more as we're going through sort of the demo, there's an ability to improve on, I think, capture rate, multi-pairing, and shortening the purchase cycle. What do I mean by that? Well, let's talk about capture rate. Generally, if you're a physical retailer, it's sort of, you have to make the sale same day or bust. If that customer leaves, the likelihood they're going to come back is very low. But if you take a scan of them in store or they scan themselves at home, it means that you can cater to them wherever and whenever. They don't have to necessarily physically come back. That next sale is just a few clicks away. So I think the industry is very much focused initially on trying to convince customers that buying from their practitioner is the right thing to do, and it is. But I think you also need to make it the easy thing to do, the more accurate thing to do. And I think that's what we help to bridge. So winning on convenience, delivering on not just same day or bust, but enhancing that capture rate. I think multi-pairing is also a huge opportunity. Most customers have multiple vision needs, but they go unfulfilled. Why? Because if I'm going to buy a polarized sunglass frame, that means I have to make 2 more trips to the store. That's difficult. That's a lot of friction. Removing that means you can now seize on that opportunity as a practitioner. And I think lastly, shortening the purchase cycle. Most customers, from the moment they know they need a new pair of glasses to when they make an appointment and physically, visit that store, that could be months. So by reducing the friction, making it convenient, you can go from when a customer is activated to servicing them in a short period of time. And over, say, a 10-year relationship with that customer, that can really improve the bottom line of a retailer. So I think those are some of the ways in which involving, I think, a digital tool is an incredibly profound opportunity for forward-thinking retailers.
Which is, great information, and everyone's looking to increase their capture rates and the multi-pairing, and, no doubt it's more now than ever before. I'm really excited to see your live demo here and to see my eyewear selections. And, while some folks may have multiple, kind of visual needs, some folks may also, like myself, have multiple style needs, right? So the multi-pairing comes into play, where when you have you can see yourself in all these different frames, and you can kind of try them on and check your pictures and go back to that. I think that can also create, it's like, having your closet online, of looking at things that you might want to buy. You go back to that and say, maybe I do want that, which is a great feature to have. So would you like me to go ahead and bring that
Please.
up there, Eric? Okay.
So I'd love to use the time that we have left to really, I think, involve Ed. Let's Ed and I, we're going to play with this software. So just to set this up, Erinn, I told her to simply download our scan-only application at home, and she scanned herself at home using her own iPhone. Erinn, you want to just say a few seconds around like how difficult that experience was, or hopefully lack thereof?
Yes. Well, it's a simple app, right? You download it from the App Store, and very, very seamless to use, and very kind of fun and user-friendly. You can see I'm sitting here in the same space that I was for my face scan. And it's great. I love the fact that you had videos, like instructional videos, but they were also really fast, super fun, and just kind of informational to share how do you take your face scan, and then it took your PD measurements as well. So, how do you do that? And it was very, very helpful to be able to have that kind of information. And then done, it was a really seamless, fast, simple solution. And I love these eyewear choices that we have.
So Eric,
go ahead, Ed.
So I was going to say, this one's a perfect frame right here, right? Sure. Can we play around with it? Can we add some?
Yeah, of course.
Take a look. Let's look at the temple first of all, right? Turn, Erinn. There we go. We have Erinn's head on the side. You have the logo. The temple
nice.
menu. Can you go back to the ears again, please? So you can see perfectly how. Let's turn the head again, if we can. There we go. And we have the fit in the back. So this is almost pre-assigned for Erinn, if I'm not wrong, the size of the temples along with the front. Am I correct, Eric?
Yeah. So First thing is everything that you're seeing is at 1-to-1 scale. and it's all fitted to the face. So, you'll notice that even if I move the face quickly, like it all tracks the face really well. It all extends perfectly to the ears. We're even rendering what this frame will look like after an optician such as Ed adjusts the frame to fit. So as I select between different styles, what you're seeing are all the styles that pass a bunch of fit checks that all physically are simulated accurately in terms of how they would sit on Erinn's face.
So
Very cool.
let's go back to that other frame that we originally, the first one that you
sure.
had picked.
This one.
So that's okay. So we could turn this into a pair of sunglasses, right, Eric?
Yeah, so this frame is an ophthalmic frame, but of course you could order that lens. Well, this would be sort of a demo to show what anti-reflective is or not, but of course you could have it ordered tinted, or you could get a gradient in a couple of different colors. You can even see what it looks like if it's mirror coated. Here's what it would look like if it was transitions when it's dark versus when it turns light. So you have the ability to also render not just the frame, but even the frame in a bunch of different lens choices as well.
That's superb. Can you put those blue lenses on so we can see if the blue lenses work for her?
Yeah,
wow.
Sure.
Now look at that mirror. So
nice.
Even the mirrors follows. Am I correct?
Mirror. Yeah.
All right. That's pretty cool.
That is very cool. So this is something like if you do the scan, because you gentlemen kindly fitted me with the eyewear, but if you're the user, you can kind of choose between, you can go ahead and make all these choices yourself on the app.
Sure.
Is that correct?
That's right. So we're showing all the frames that pass fitting. So, I've got a bunch of sun frames that are coming up as well. I've narrowed the choices to brands that Ed carries within his store. So Tom Ford, some Cartier, some Gucci. We obviously have a much larger selection across a lot of brands that don't necessarily overlap with Ed, but this is just sort of to give you a sense of the frames, the ability to filter them based on brand or based on color or based on sun versus optical in order to just see a bunch of stuff. I think the second thing that's really important is, let's say you really like this frame. Well, just based on a scan that you did at home, if I hit this sort of frame and lens info button, we've solved for all of the measurements, not just near and far monocular PD and OC height, but vertex, panto, and wrap. And we have proven conclusively that not only is this more accurate than any tool that's ever really been dispensed in store today, but this now works remotely. We are having 100% success rate based on a whole bunch of trials that we're doing with New Look Vision in Canada in terms of dispensing advanced progressives to customers fully remotely. So that, we've done Prism with 5 base out with a +275 progressive. We've done -19. The measurements are consistent and incredibly accurate. So any frame that you see now or in the future can be dispensed with that accuracy of lenses.
Amazing. Wow. I love these
cool.
Different styles, and it's pretty incredible. You can try the different lens options. So that's a really great feature.
So what else should we look at, Ed, for her?
So let's take a look. It's a little freaky always, but let's look at the 3D model that gives us a clearer idea of that measurement and how we got to it.
So what Ed's referring to is, so this is what we call the camera view, right? This is literally what your phone saw from sort of close up when you did a scan.
Sure.
We also have this 3D model view. Now, this is something that generally we have opticians look at. It's up to them if they choose to expose this to the customer. But what this allows is the ability to sort of free-form move around the face. Now, why is that really important? Well, it lets you sort of see maybe an angle that wasn't captured in the actual scan. But more importantly, what it lets you do is change the perspective. By that, I mean, if you're looking really close up, those glasses look really big. But we can also change that to essentially simulate what it would look like if you were to step further away. So at 1 meter, this is like what you would perceive if you were to look at yourself in a bathroom mirror, or put another way, how other people perceive that size of that frame for you. So it's really valuable as a tool to really get a good sense of size and proportion.
Amazing.
So Eric, I think we don't have much time left, but let's go to the sexy part of all this. Let's go and take let's go to customs and really be able to create something unique, a design that's just for Erinn, with measurements and designed and made at your factory. And if you want to take it from there, how these are made.
Sure. So we've talked about stock. Let's talk about bespoke. So now let's say the customer really wants a perfect fit, or they don't have a style that's right for them, or they want a huge selection of colors. So in bespoke, we've got a range of different styles, each of which is customized to fit an individual, available each in about 50 different colors. And you can even adjust on the fly the proportions, the shape to achieve the aesthetic that you're looking for. So Ed, I'll let you sort of decide what we look at next.
We're gonna pick that frame, but I don't like the fact that Erinn's got two eyebrows there. Can we adjust that?
Yeah, sure.
And so this is how that's done?
Yeah, so we auto fit every frame to a face, but then we give an optician the ability to adjust on the fly the width. If I turn it to the side, you can sort of see what's being adjusted. You can adjust the height.
There you
can
go.
Even adjust. Yeah, you could even adjust how you want them sitting on the face, and you'll notice even the nose pads are recalculating on the fly. Yeah.
So let's raise that up a little bit. Let's see what we can come up with. There you go. Stop right there.
Yeah. Sure.
Bring it down just slightly, since you have the. There you go. Let's make it slightly wider, and maybe 2 millimeters or so deeper. There we go. Look at that frame. Go ahead, a little deeper. All right, let's take a look at the 3D and see what we came up with and if this is going to work.
Wow.
Now that's that frame, but of course, we always start with dark tortoise, but we have 50 different Italian acetate tellers to choose from.
No.
So
we're with blue. Let's try that. We got a couple of blue frames in there with her eyes, with blonde hair, blue eyes. Let's try a couple of these blue colors.
Pretty.
Okay, that does. Okay.
We got dark blue here.
I wish everybody could
do something more. You could do something a little more aggressive if you want to do like an unusual pattern and stand out. So colors is an opportunity, I think, so color is an opportunity, I think, to really play and differentiate, since finding a frame in a store that's an exact color and it's the right shape and it's the right size, it's always very difficult. Every frame is a compromise, and the advantage of bespoke is that you don't have to. You can really get exactly what you want.
Fantastic, man. This is just the amount of options that you have here is incredible, and so fun to be able to try all of that on the face. I love these frames. I love the shape, the silhouette of that is very, very cool. And
now, Ed, was there a different style that you thought was worth?
Yeah, just let's pop for a second the frame and lens information so we can see we have all the measurements on that. And so here we picked a frame. Totally different than the other ones, and obviously automatically all the numbers are automatically artificial intelligence, but we got all the information in there. Let's try some of those metal frames and and see what we can do with that.
So the metal frames come in a whole bunch of different colors. So we've got 24 karat gold, happens to be what I'm wearing as well. We've got rose gold, which is 18 karat. This is real gold. Polished stainless steel, and a bunch of other like vibrant, bright colors as well.
How cool!
So what
I like about this program for the customers, this looks real. This is what they're going to get. This is not close to, or maybe this is very realistic, and they like that experience in store and at home when they bring the information in through their phones. Mm-hmm. So yes, we can adjust that. We can play with it or pick another style. I'll leave that up to you, Eric.
You can play with them in terms of how do you want them sitting relative to the face? How do you want the width, the height? And of course, as you switch between different styles, that all sort of stays. So you can, again, there's a whole bunch of different styles that you could choose from as well. So which one, should we do a sunglass, Ed?
Yeah, let's turn that one into a sunglass. Maybe we'll make that frame a little bit bigger first.
Sure. Yeah, sure. So I can make it, make it maybe a little bit bigger like that.
Yeah,
nice.
Perfect. Oh, that's it.
Like
that's it. Right there. Right there.
Yeah.
Right there. And
not your fan. All right. Which one do you recommend?
No. Let's go with brown gradient.
Brown gradient. You got it.
Much better. Let's go with the blue. I like her in blue.
All right.
It's my theme today. I've got the blue. Yeah.
Those are probably polarized mirror glass, so you can come fishing in Florida.
That's right.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I'll be right down.
So yeah, for us, this is pretty amazing thing. It doesn't even, it's really transformative. It's the future. And as a retailer, we talk, most of our stores are in malls. I've been hearing about the death of malls for the past 8 years, if not longer. But we were always looking to be innovative and bring something new so that we could survive and the death of the malls. And what we have found out, obviously, is we got to go in technology. COVID kind of expedited all this, And I think the world has forced us maybe to even go deeper. I knew Eric before COVID, by the way, but COVID just brought that relationship between us, obviously New Look, a lot closer. And so, yes, I'm very thankful for that.
That's fantastic. So you folks are using this in store, Ed. You have this in a couple of your stores?
Yes. Beta site, and we got to watch out with Eric, because if you have an idea, he immediately tries to implement it. So I hate to say that. It's frustrating. He tries to implement things. So, it's been good putting some of our products on the site, and slowly we keep on developing more and more the experience inside the shop, and obviously for that customer that's scanning themselves and come in with a product. Obviously, next step is online sales. We do them right now, but we would like to start using the program in our website.
On your website.
Yeah. So let me just give some context to how this can be used, right? On an iPad, you can scan a patient, you can work with them one-on-one in store, right? So that maybe have an expanded selection than what you physically have. Obviously, Bespoke allows you to preview a product before it's been manufactured as well. And you're getting all the measurements. So that's the in-store advantage. But by scanning in store, it allows you now to cater maybe over Zoom or GoToMeeting or take your pick, Microsoft Teams, with that customer virtually. Right, we have New Look Vision as an example. They've got a bank of virtual opticians. They're actual opticians. They come into your home through Zoom, and they're working with customers one-on-one who scan themselves. Either they did it in store, or they can, as Erinn did, download the app and simply scan themselves and then work one-on-one with a customer. And then lastly is self-serve e-commerce. And so our first deployment of that using this technology is going live in about a month. And so there's the self-serve option for existing retailers to now cater to customers remotely. There's the virtual that can cater to customers remotely. And then there's the in-store. So it's a toolbox. You can use this with customers to help them pre-shop, to bring them to the store, or you can cater them fully remotely. And the most important thing is, based on that scan, you've got all the measurements. You've got an understanding of how this frame needs to be adjusted to fit. If there's time, I can show that at the end, so that you can deliver to the home or for in-store pickup a product that out of the box is already adjusted to fit and has the RX lens with all the measurements to ensure that perfect visual acuity and I think instant adaptation right out of the box as well.
Correct.
That's great. Well, I'll just tease this real quick, but in our upcoming May issue, which will go live on May 1st, this weekend, we have a great interview with Antoine Amiel from New Look Vision, and he talks a lot about the topology in the interview, and very, very excited about the platform and have implemented it in many, many stores. So that's folks that would like more information, feel free to check out our issue. That'll be up on eyecarebusiness.com in just a few days. So, this is such great information. I really appreciate you sharing and doing my, kind of working with my face scan and all these great options. I'm kind of, really excited about this, to be able to go in and play with some options here. Just a quick question for you. How do you team this then with the actual RX lens sale? So is that just kind of ties in with the optician or the, whoever is doing the fitting at that stage?
Yeah, we provide the measurements, and then based on the sophistication or the IT infrastructure, we can automatically export them, or you can just copy them down. But the important thing is, we want to help to facilitate better sales of frames, better, more accurate sales and higher margin sales of lens products. Not just the demo of like anti-reflective or not, or transitions or not, but better measurements are going to result in, I think, better outcomes and adaptations, I think, to progressives with less redos or remakes. One thing that I don't have time to demo here is our ability to also render the thickness and distortion of the actual RX lens. So you can also show the advantage of high index. Or why, a more advanced progressive is better than, the run-of-the-mill non-compensated one. So there's an opportunity, I think, where the sales support can really drive, I think, higher margin, better outcome lens products as well.
That's a pretty tremendous tool to be able to, physically demonstrate the advantage of a high index or, versus other types of lenses too. So a great, great tool for the opticians as well. So just to kind of, finish it up here with Ed to ask you, just kind of your overall takeaway, using this platform for, for eye care professionals, for the folks that are watching, for our viewers that are watching live, and for those that'll watch this after the fact, kind of, how would you say that this program can really help them, from your own personal experience and in terms of profitability, in terms of, adding on to your toolbox of what you offer today, because that's so important, so critical even now.
So there's so many facets to your question. One that I would say is you interacting with two groups of people. In our case, millennials and baby boomers. The baby boomers might do the scan, but they will come to the shop, and there might be the interaction inside the shop. So we just gain a customer that probably wouldn't have come to us, but the fact that they were able to do that scan with their phone is great. Where the millennial might be quicker to pull the trigger and place the order over their phone or in their computer. Sure. But that also leads to multiple sales, and they might decide that they want to come to the shop. So for us, brick and mortars, I am a firm believer that it will survive and will do well, but in an omni-channel process. And I think what Topology does and what Eric has done is created a program that is real. This is not a gimmick. Okay, we've tried that. This is not a gimmick. This is how do you really improve your business and take it to the next level. This is 21st century, and it is and it delivers.
That's great.
I hope I was able to answer that.
That was perfect, and appreciate that. Kind of from you're out there doing it, every day, so you certainly can see the advantages in practice, in your business for sure. So, Eric, is there anything that we didn't cover that you wanted to? We're running a little tight on time.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, are there any questions that are burning that are worth answering? Otherwise, I could show one more thing, but I want to be cognizant of time. But I think Ed said it best.
Great if you want to show one more thing, and then we can kind of finish it up with that.
Yeah. So look, like I said, we're much more than just a virtual try-on, right? We're a suite of tools that delivers results, right? It's not just gimmick. It's not just engaging. At the end of the day, if it takes measurements, it's delivering measurable vision outcomes. So the last thing that we do that no one's done before, and I'll just let me just share this other thing that I think helps to explain what we do is, when a customer selects a frame, can you see this? I just want to make sure.
There we go.
Yeah. So when a customer selects a frame, our software generates a unique schematic that's at 1-to-1 scale that is printed out. So an optician, excuse me for a minute, can adjust a frame so that they can then put in a box, ship it to that customer, and it'll fit them correctly. So like this happens to be a schematic that was generated for one particular face. This is the same frame with a new schematic that was generated for an entirely different face. And so the advantage is cycling between them, you can really see the differences. It tells a story of two very different faces, right? And I've chosen a frame that has adjustable nose pads. You can see how the nose pads need to be adjusted differently based on a different face in order to achieve also not just comfort, but the optical alignment. We're putting the optical centration on the schematic so you can verify if a lab does remote edging and mounting for you that they did it correctly. The length, the width of the head, where to place those ear bends in order so that when they put it on for the first time, even if they're not physically present, it fits. And we've shown working with master opticians that without any training, without any explanation, we simply say, take the frame, place it down on a printed out schematic, and adjust it using the exact same techniques you already know how to do. Mm-hmm. And lo and behold, they've been shocked to find that if you do that, it actually works. It doesn't just deliver fit, but we were doing this for advanced progressive wearers, and the visual outcomes on the progressives were spot on. And so this is something that is also totally novel, never been done before, but it delivers results because now, for the first time, you're not just able to interact with a customer remotely. You can actually deliver remotely. And that can be just unbelievably profound, I think, for this industry, in order to be able to reach out and bring, I think, this product to customers wherever and whenever they are, and meet them on their elevated expectations now more than ever.
Fantastic. I'm glad you shared that. I think that's really super helpful for the viewers to see and to know, all huge advantages. And I know so many folks have been kind of thinking, how do I do omnichannel? How do I do virtual try-on or virtual fittings? People are trying to do it on their own, but it's just too cumbersome, too difficult. And this is like such a just seamless kind of solution that I think it's really, really great to have brought this to the industry. So thank you for your vision, Eric, and thank you for sharing how it works in the field, Ed. We really appreciate it. I really appreciate both of you being here today. We thank our viewers for joining us. If you have any questions, we've got some information in the comment bars here. So there's the URL for topologyeyewear.com. There's hello@topologyeyewear.com for any questions you might have after the fact. I know a lot of folks, watch the live stream live, and a lot of folks watch it kind of as they have time to after the fact. So you can still email at that with questions that you might have. So thank you all for joining us. We really appreciate it, and wishing everybody a great day.
Likewise. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Erinn. You have a great day.
Thank you. Take care. We'll see you soon.
Bye.